Good morning from the southern tip of Phuket, Thailand, Nai Lake, and it's time to do the morning walk every non-rainy day. From here up to the windmill, back down 2 times around the lake for 7 kilometers barefoot. Now, yesterday I put out an invitation with a short 1-minute video from up at the windmill saying, hey, come out and join me, 7 a.m. It's 7:15 now. So I sent it out to like 50 people, everybody in my social list, on the Line app, and even Tinder matches on Tinder. Got lots of thumbs up, great, yeah. And at least 2 Tinder matches said, yeah, I'll be there. Guess how many showed up? Well, you can guess the number. But had it been like, oh, come for lunch, come for dinner, I'm picking up the tab, then how many? 100%. All right. Got something to talk about later on the road. Oh, Richard Nikoley, freetheanimal.com. All right. Up here, heading back down. The reason I'm showing you the feet first, we are up at the windmill, they call it. There's Nai, where we're headed to, 2 laps around the lake. So this is the scenery. The scenery. And yes, it's barefoot. And guess what the subject of my first little talk is going to be? Yep. Barefoot. All right. I've mentioned this in other videos, but this is something I've done for, I think since 2009, and from then to about 2015, when my dogs were younger. I walked a lot every morning, about 3 miles-ish. And I did it barefoot. So thousands of miles, really, in those years. And you develop, just to cover it basically, you adapt to it. So, when you start out, you're kind of tenderfoot and you're like looking down where you're walking, watching your step, right? You can only do flat surfaces like sidewalks, even pavement, blacktop, whatever they call it. It can be pretty not smooth. So that can affect. But over time, both your feet toughen up, and you get the feedback, the nerve feedback, and it's so you have a sense of it without even thinking about it anymore. You're now, and that's a natural thing because you have so many nerve endings in your feet. In fact, you can Google this. I learned this way early on. So you can Google this just to verify it's true. You have more nerve endings in your feet, so more feedback than in your genitals. It's a true fact, right? Thus, walking barefoot is kind of like masturbation, I guess. And it's public. Right? For those exhibitionists out there, get to it. All right. So it's cool here. This is like, I think, the 5th day in a row walking. Sorry to move the camera so much. About the 5th day in a row doing this. And I'm gonna do something here. Put this out a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. It's a little bit better. And so amongst maybe, I don't know, guessing a couple hundred people out in the morning, and about the same ones, and I'm the only one, the only one. I saw one guy barefoot, but he was just standing there, near a bench and stuff. Everybody else has their some do it in the flip flops, but that's padding too, a half an inch. Even the shower shoes, about a half an inch of foam. But everybody has their fancy sneakers, Not even minimalist. I've not seen 1 zero shoes out here, which I hiked the southeastern Spain over 5 days, 100 kilometers, in zero shoes. It's with a zero with an X instead of a Z. Steven Sashin owns it. I know him. He's a good guy. Check it out. XERO 0. He's got just tons of models, right? But they're all minimalist. So they like a shoe, but the sole gives you good feedback. And for hiking trails, that can be worthwhile. You can still barefoot hiking trails, but you're probably going to be slower and it's going to be a bit painful. Flat surface walking, I still like the barefoot experience. So anyway, nobody else is barefoot. They all have their half an inch or so, foam padding. And I get lots of comments, especially from the Thai girls. I'm like, just like a dog, just like an animal, right? It's like any animal. They don't have shoes. So, and they laugh. But what the funniest part of it is the people who say, "Oh, I can't do that. I have tender feet, right? So I have to wear shoes." I mean, that is the level of thinking where we have to become accustomed to, because it's so obviously bullshit, right? Shoes are what gave you tender feet. You didn't start out with tender feet, and so you have to wear shoes. I mean, basic cause and effect, right? I had this conversation with a good friend of mine yesterday. He's lives here in Thailand, an American, lives here in Thailand. He's in Pattaya right now, where his home base is, but he loves Hawaii, so I'm going to be here probably in a couple months. He says, "Oh," I'm telling him about the hikes. He says, "Yeah, I could do that, but I have to wear shoes. I have tender feet." Like, Doug, you have tender feet because you wear shoes all the time, or flip-flops or whatever. Your feet are atrophied. It's just like your muscles. If you don't even have to go to the gym and push weights, but if you're just, laying in bed, what happens? Shrivel up. So, this is all easy stuff. Exercise them. Walking barefoot is great exercise. Some people call it grounding now. Whatever it is, it's really cool. I think it's really great for the mental whatever. Now, another thing is, when I was out in the Thais are typically Thais go barefoot a lot. And since they're kids, kids are running around the village where I built that house barefoot all day long, right? And then as they grow up, even workers that worked on my house, some of them, they're either in flip-flops, or they're barefoot. Some of them even pour concrete barefoot, not wearing those big rubber boots. They just hopping around in there pouring concrete barefoot. When they get done, they just hose off the concrete. And yeah, it's rock too. There's rock in the concrete. But you look at him, so you see an average, like, 5'6", 5'7" Thai guy that weighs maybe 130, 40, 50 pounds. But then you look at his feet, and he has the feet, these beefy ass feet of a like 250-pound man. Shit you not, see it all the time, right? So, well, I think that's it for this vid. Another one coming up when I get down to the lake for my 2 laps and make a pit stop. All right. Signing out. Richard Nikoley, freetheanimal.com. Like this video, share it, subscribe to the channel, yada, 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 all that stuff you've heard a million times, but this time I mean it. All right.